Hi, my name is Armando, and today I'm gonna make a strudel. A strudel is a very rich and flavorful dessert. Um, the word strudel actually, from translated from the mother tongue, it means swirl, which could translate to like a swirl of apple. Because when you cut it, you can see like a little swirl of pastry inside the strudel. A lot of people think this dish actually comes from Germany, but no, it actually goes to Vietnam. It is actually considered Austria's national dish, but it is kind of like a cousin of the baklava, which is a Vietnamese dessert as well. That it has a lots of layers of pastry with some walnuts on it. The first known ever hand recipe from a strudel comes all the way back to 1696, and it was a milk strudel. A lot of probably most of the modifications to the baklava transformed to what is known now as a strudel had a lot of influence from Hungarian and Austrian cuisine. To make this strudel, you need some ingredients. First of all, you need a 1.5 cups of flour. I have it here. You're gonna pretty much seize the flour in a large bowl. Now that you have this, you can add. We need 2 tablespoons of vegetable oil. I'm gonna use this one, which is soy based. Any kind of oil, as long as it's like vegetable, preferably not olive oil, kind of work. You need 2 egg whites. However, I've been using just 1 egg or maybe 2, and it totally works fine. You can do it like this. Doesn't really matter. One quarter tablespoon of salt. I have it here. And half a tablespoon of lemon juice. I don't have lemon juice, however you can use lime juice. Totally, it works just fine. And there you go. Now you need a 1/4 cup of water, warm water actually. So I'm gonna pop this in the microwave for like 15 seconds. Okay, so now I'm gonna try, and a warm water, it's fine. You can mix this until it barely comes together. You will see that it is actually kind of dry. You can see it here, it has a lot of flour. I'm gonna add a second egg just to make sure it comes together. This is like a semi-cohesive dough. It's not that good looking, but now we're gonna add the water, a little bit of water, just so that it comes together. Once the dough is almost finished, you can start using your hands. I was using this spatula just so I don't make that much of a mess. If it's too sticky, you can add a little bit of flour, like I'm gonna do now. You don't have to use all the water. I still have some. That was pretty much just well, it depends on how much flour that you use. It might come very soft dough. Pretty much have to develop gluten, because this thing is gonna you're gonna have to stretch it like all over the table pretty much. And so what you need to do, pretty much just beat the dough against the table. I usually take like 20 minutes doing this step, because you need a lot of gluten development. You can also just work the dough very hard. However, smashing it against the table that you're using, it's just faster. I think I just get better results if you do it like this. So of course you don't want to see me do this for 20 minutes, so I'm just gonna cut it, and I'll see you in a bit. Okay, so 20 minutes have passed, and I have a super soft dough, as you can see. So you beat it for 20 minutes, just rolling into a very nice bowl shape. There you go. Put it here, and with a towel. This is just to rest the gluten. We're not fermenting anything. There you go. Okay, so now the dough is resting. I forgot if I said it, but it has to be 30 minutes. So now you're gonna pretty much cut your apples. You have to dice them. I want to show you what I do. You pretty much first you remove part from the head, this part, and then you cut next to the center, like around here. Cut this part, and you have this thing, this part with no seeds, just the fruit. Then you cut again next to the middle part, like around here, more or less. There you go, you have another part without the seeds. Then you do the same thing, but here, like leaving like a really thin area. You cut next to the center as well. You get another identical part to this one, with no seeds on it. And then here you can see that you have the center of the apple. You just have to cut next to the center again. And there you go. You pretty much cut an entire apple without the seeds. There you go. Now, what you have to do to dice them, you can just remove this part, cut it in stripes like this. Now that you already have cut it like this, just cut it like transversal to the cut that you already made, and there you go. You're gonna have these are not technically diced because they're kind of long parts, but they work, so it's fine. Don't worry about it. Just don't worry about it. And do the same thing with every single one. Just trying to put them on the table with the widest part against the cutting board. There you go. And then again, transversal. Do the same thing with all the apples. You know what? Actually, do not cut this part. I was mistaken. I was confused by another type of cutting technique. But don't cut the upper part. Just cut it like next to the center, as well as I was discussing earlier. What you can do to prevent, for example, if you cut it like this, you would sometimes get the apple stuck in the knife like this, just kind of annoying. What you can do is just the tip of the knife against the cutting board. Just do one slice, and it will pretty much stay there. So one slice like this, and you don't really have to do it again in the transversal cut, but it's just gonna make your life easier. So after you cut all of your apples, then you can add your raisins. I don't have that much raisins, but you can use more if you want. It's up to preference, really. There you go. You want to add some of lime juice to prevent browning of the apples. In the meanwhile, then you're gonna add a bunch of lemon zest from the lemon that you just used. Again, I'm not using lemon, I'm using lime. but it's fine, don't worry about it. There you go. And then you can add some sugar, maybe 2, 3, yeah, let's do 3 tablespoons of sugar. Then you mix this really well with I'm using a spatula, a rubber spatula. You can taste some if you want. Might need a little bit more sugar. There you go. I think that's enough. So after you have that, I'm gonna add some cinnamon powder. Really important. And now I'm gonna add some whiskey. I'm using this Johnny Walker because it adds also a ton of flavor to the dish. Just a little drizzle of it should be enough. And don't worry if you're gonna feed this to children, because the alcohol is pretty much just gonna evaporate anyway, so it's fine. So pretty much the filling is complete. You're gonna need some roughly chopped walnuts. Here I have some. They don't have to be like super fine chopped, just chop them kind of tiny. Okay, so now we just need a large piece of butter. This one's fine. It's more or less around like 50 grams, 60 grams. And we're gonna pop this in the microwave for like 30 seconds maybe. We just need to melt this butter. We just want to make this butter. We don't have to make it complicated. Just put it in the microwave for like 30 seconds. If it's not completely melted, if it's not like still like in this kind of shape, like hard butter, you can just put it for like another 10 seconds, 15 seconds. And if it starts to melt, you cannot just like do like this kind of movement and it will just melt with its own like melted part. And in the meanwhile, we're gonna remove this butter from here. We'll put it on the pitch. And now, once our dough is rested, here it is. You're gonna need a cloth. I'm using this one. It is a pillow cover. What you're gonna do is put some flour on it. Dust some flour on top of the cloth. Any kind of cloth, it's fine. Any kind of cloth works fine. Just need to put some flour on it. It has to be straight. It doesn't need to have like wrinkles around the cloth or things that can ruin your dough. So you're gonna flour your rolling pin as well. Some flour, and you're gonna just roll the dough as thin as you can. Sorry, roll the dough as thin as you can. It's gonna take a little bit of work, but don't worry, it will come out just fine. It has to be extremely thin. Don't fear of doing really strong or like really hard pressure on the dough, because it's basically what you want to be as thin as possible. And see, mine looks very thin, but it's not thin enough. So once you have a really thin dough like this one, what you're pretty much gonna do is you're gonna flour your hands, your knuckles especially. There you go. And you're gonna try to give like turns to your dough so it can expand a little bit more. You can stretch a little bit more. Things that you cannot do with the rolling pin. You can help it a little bit with your hands, sort of gently stretch it. like this. It might crack because it's very thin. As you can see, you can even see it's kind of transparent. It's fine though. Actually, a really good dough for strudel, it's when you put a book on the other side of the dough, and then you can kind of read what the book says through the dough. So you really need a really thin dough. You just have to be patient. Don't try and do this fast, because otherwise you might break your dough, and that's gonna be really unfortunate. You can kind of fix it, but it's not gonna look as pretty as you want it to be. So here you can see it is kind of getting more stretched out. It's getting bigger. Try to work the parts where you feel like it's not as thin. Like for example, this part, it feels really thick and not as thin as this part, for example, this part under here. As you can see, like the dough is actually getting a lot bigger. I can stretch it up onto here, and it pretty much touches the bar, like the table where I'm on. Okay, so I think we're almost there. We're almost there. What you need to do now, you can see that it's yes, it's very big, but it's kind of disproportionate. It has like bigger sides from here and not from here. So what you're gonna do is try to stretch it around the cloth very gently, like this. Trying to stretch it, trying to get like a really really uniform or like very good rectangle shape. So you can help yourself with using the shape of the cloth. So my dough now, it's very thin. It's a really nice rectangle. You can actually, I'll show you. You can put this paper under it, and you can see the letters. That's when you know, you can kind of read actually what it says. That's when you know it dough is very thin, and that's very good. So now that you already have this cloth extended, what you need to do is melt. You already have your melted butter. Here I have it. I don't have a brush with me right now, so I'm gonna use a spoon. Actually, this needs a little bit more time. So now I have my butter melted. What you want to do is pretty much just drizzle the entire surface of the dough. If you have a brush, don't try to brush it as much, because it's it's very thin, so it might break. So you have to be very careful when doing this step. And if you don't feel comfortable also with your dough, you can just don't worry, you can just make it a ball again and reshape it and start again. This part, it's completely covered in butter. You're gonna grab your walnuts and just pretty much put it all the way around the surface of the dough. Now that you already did that, you're gonna have to put your filling on top of this. So what you need to do, you're gonna put your filling around more or less this part of the strudel, because we're gonna cover it with this part. So you have to leave like a small space so you can put your filling right here, and then you can cover it with the other part of the dough. So grab your filling. You're gonna put the filling here. Do not add the liquid of the apples, because that's gonna add a lot of moisture to your strudel, and when you put it on the oven, it might come out wrong or it might get very wet, because the juice are gonna come out and the strudel is gonna get mushy. So just trust me on this one. Just forget the liquid. Just leave it in the bowl, so it's fine. As you can see, I have a line. I guess you can say this is gonna be the size of your strudel when you do it, and you're pretty much gonna cover this. So this step is really important. What you're gonna do, what's the purpose of the cloth, is that you can grab the cloth like this, and you have to pretty much just do it like this. So now your filling is covered. You can pull it a little bit, just like this. Okay, try to put the apples, like try to stick this part here, stick this part so the apples don't move around. Do the same thing here in the back. And now what you're gonna do, grab your cloth. You're pretty much gonna do it really fast and put this part over here. So watch me carefully, and grab the cloth and do it like this. So now that is like this, you can rearrange the apples that are inside the strudel, so they don't move. I can eliminate some excess flour that we don't want, of course. Like this. Rub your butter again and drizzle the top of this. Again, I'm using a spoon because I don't have a brush, but if you have a brush, that's gonna be a lot easier. And again, if you're gonna use a brush and you want to brush it, just be careful not to break the strudel, because that would be very unfortunate. Once it's really nice and covered in butter, like this, again, you're gonna grab the cloth, do it like this, and then pull it really quickly the other side. There you go. And you can see now it's starting to look a lot like an actual strudel. Repeat the process until you get to the other side of the pastry. And this part, well, pretty much done with it. You can just put it here. You can use the butter kind of as glue, so you can put a little bit here, for example, and then put this part here. So now you might say, oh, okay, so pretty much you want this part to be under it, so I'm gonna flip it. No, don't do that yet. So now I'm gonna add some butter here and here in the edges, and you can use this part, and you can do things. You can actually cut this part, or you can just bend it. I'm gonna do pretty much both things. I'm gonna cut the excess like at half. You can reuse this to make like a smaller strudel if you have more filling, and then this part, just bend it over it. There you go. And same thing with this part, just cut the half of it. Reuse it again. Dough is money, so don't waste it. Don't throw it on the trash. And there you go. Okay, so now your strudel is looking very nice. This is the moment of truth. So now grab your sheet pan. I'm gonna use this paper. Put my strudel on. You can just put it in a line like this. And the excess, this part, just bend it, like fold it to the center, and then turn it around, and there you go. By the way, I forgot to tell you, you have to preheat your oven to 180 degrees Celsius. Okay, so the oven is getting hot. Remember, 180 degrees Celsius. Now, what you're gonna do is grab this part of the cloth, put it kind of on top of it, of the pan, just on the edge, and you can actually fold it a little bit like this. Put it here. Pretty much the strudel is next to the sheet pan, and then just flip it over one last time. There you go. Now it's on the sheet pan. Once from here, you're gonna drizzle the rest of your butter. It's looking very nice. It's covered with butter. Do not use egg whites or egg yolks, is what you want when you're doing this pastry. The pastry is very dry, so the purpose of the butter is to hydrate it. So what we're gonna do, it's gonna be kind of annoying, but it's gonna give us a really good end result. You're gonna cook it for 180 degrees for 1 hour, and every 10 minutes you have to add butter on top of it again. So you can take it out of the oven if you are not feeling like you wanna just drizzle or brush it inside the oven. Just take it out of the oven, drizzle again some butter, cover it really well, and then put it back in the oven for another 10 minutes. So that's pretty much for 1 hour. So you're pretty much gonna repeat the process like 5 times. You put it once, you take it once, and you put the butter and you put it again, and that until it pretty much has 1 hour inside the oven. I'm gonna skip this part, and I want to show you when I drizzled it again. Okay, so the first 10 minutes have passed. I'm gonna pop this out of the oven. Remember to use oven mitts. Do not use just the cloth, because you might get burned. So here's the strudel. It's looking very good. I have some more melted butter. So remember, just kind of brush it a little bit on the top like this, and then put it back in the oven for another 10 minutes. So just remember to do it every 10 minutes for 1 hour. This is the end product. This is the strudel. It has a very nice brown color. It is not burned, even though it was for a really long time in the oven, but the butter helped a lot. So I'm gonna cut it right now so you can see how it looks on the inside. And now I'm gonna show you how it looks. It's like this. You can see it clearly, the swirl on the top of the layers of dough that you made. So now I'm going to plate it in this black plate. So I'm going to put a bowl of ice cream on the top like this, and then I'm gonna dust some powdered sugar on top of it. And there you have it. This is the end product. It's very, very good. Got a little bit of that ice cream, and a little bit of strudel, still really hot, so it's very, very good. It's not too sweet. The filling is really good. The layers are really crunchy. It's not hard to eat. The vanilla ice cream gives them a lot of flavor. It combines really well with the apples. And well, that's it. It's not a hard recipe. Anyone can do it. You just need to try to be careful in some steps, like I was saying, like stretching the dough, things like that. But overall, it's not a hard recipe. Um, Feel free to do it in your spare time. And yeah, that's it. And thank you for watching. Thank you. And I'm gonna show it again through the camera, just for you to see it. And thank you.